perhaps your store is hosting an in-store event for customers, or you just received a unique fruit or vegetable and you want to get the news out. What do? Hi, I'm Amy Goldsmith, a public relations and media consultant and director of PR for RDBA. Before picking up the phone to call your local newspaper, first determine if it's really newsworthy. Remember, reporters at your local newspaper and radio and TV stations are bombarded daily with news from around the country that PR people think that they can use. So how do you improve your odds of getting their attention? Make sure it's newsworthy. There are 5 factors I use to determine if a story is newsworthy. Normally, a story should perform well in at least 2 of the following 5 areas. The first, timing. The word news means exactly that, things which are new. Consumers are used to receiving the latest updates. If it happened today, it's news. If the same thing happened last week, it's no longer interesting. The second is significance. The number of people affected by a story is important. A plane crash in which hundreds of people died is more significant than a crash killing a dozen. In the food world, a recall will receive news attention. The fact that your market is now carrying a brand extension of America's favorite cracker won't. However, for example, when it's the short Copper River salmon season, that could be newsworthy. It's a small window of time for a premium and healthy product, and it's different from the norm. Proximity. Stories that happen near to us have more significance. The closer the story to home, the more newsworthy it is. Proximity doesn't have to mean geographical distance. Stories from countries with which we have a particular bond or similarity have the same effect. For example, Australians would be expected to relate more to a story from a distant Western nation than a story from a much closer Asian country. Prominence. Famous people get more coverage just because they're famous. If you break your arm, it won't make the news. But if the Queen of England breaks her arm, it's big news. If you're having a diabetes event at your store, you'll get more attention if there's a name brand expert or celebrity who will be in attendance. Human interest and general weirdness. Human interest stories are a bit of a special case. They often disregard the main rules of newsworthiness. For example, they don't date as quickly, they need not affect a large number of people, and it may not matter where in the world the story takes place. Human interest stories appeal to emotion. They aim to evoke responses such as happiness or sadness. Television news programs often place a humorous or quirky story at the end of the show to finish on a feel-good note. Newspapers often have a dedicated area for offbeat or interesting items. News judgment isn't static, and as our society changes, so does the notion of what newsworthy is. But before you pick up the phone or email your local reporter, gauge your news and see if it fits the criteria. Formulate what you want to say before you call the newsroom and make sure you quickly explain why it's newsworthy. Good luck!